The online roadshow will start in a few minutes, and we would like to remind you of the house rules of this event. One is to kindly mute your audio, put your questions or issues that you want to raise in the comment section, and kindly wait for the host to acknowledge your concerns. Thank you. Good afternoon. Sparta Online Roadshow is about to start. Before that, we would like to remind you of the house rules. Number one is to kindly mute your audio. Second is to put your questions or issues that you want to raise in the comment section and kindly wait for the host to acknowledge your concerns. Thank you. Let us open the event with a prayer from Engineer Yasser Rapun from the Ministry of Human Settlements and Development, and with Ms. Maria Laarni Malyari, Events Associate of the Development Academy of the Philippines.
Do it. Wow. Ay mo pa talaga itong isang to.
Engineer Yasser Rapun, may we request your presence for the opening prayer. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let us pray. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma lakal hamdu kullu wa lakal syukru kullu wa ilayka yurja'ul amru kullu fa ahlun anta an tahmad wa ahlun anta an ta'bad wa anta ala kulli syai'in qadir. Lakal hamdu hamdan katsiran tayyiban mubarakan fihi غير مودع ولا مكافئ ولا مستغنى عنه ربنا تم نورك فهديت فلك الحمد وتم فضلك فرزقت فلك الحمد وتم حلمك فسترت فلك الحمد اللهم لك الحمد أنت نور السماوات والأرض ومن فيهن ولك الحمد أنت قيوم السماوات والأرض ومن فيهن ولك الحمد أنت الحق ووعدك حق وقولك حق ولقاؤك حق والنبيون حق ومحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم حق وأنت الله الرؤوف الرحيم اللهم لك الحمد كما أنعمت به علينا من نعمك العظيمة وآلائك الجسيمة حيث أنزلت إلينا خير كتبك وأرسلت إلينا أفضل رسلك وشرعت لنا أفضل شرائع دينك وجعلت لنا من خير أخرجت للناس وهديتنا لمعالم دينك الذي ليس به التباس برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث فلا تكلنا إلى أنفسنا طرفة عين ولا أقل من ذلك واصلح لنا شأننا كله برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين اجعل هذا اجتماعا مرحوما واجعل تفرقنا بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تجعل فينا معنا شقيا ولا محروما برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وصل اللهم على نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
In the name of God, the most merciful, the beneficent, O nourisher and provider of all things, we thank you for the grace to gather all of us today for this online roadshow. We thank you for every heart and mind that feels the presence of this room. Our prayer today is for your will to be done in this event and in everything that will become of these efforts in the future. We offer our ideas, skills, and abilities to the fulfillment of your vision. May you bless this event, all those present, as well as those who will encounter afterwards. May you keep us physically safe. This we pray. Amen.
Let us all pay our utmost attention to the Philippine National Anthem.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Next is let us sing the hymn of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao.
Simula noon hanggang ngayon, isa ang naging layon, magkaisa ang magbunod, kalitingan ay marunong. Ngayon tayo mula sa hamon ng nakaraan, niyakos ang panganib na umanlang. Pinangako sa puso at paniniwala, ang ginhawa para sa kabataan. Bangsamoro ay tagumpay, bunga ng pawis, sugo at buhay. Kapayapaan, katarungan, ay ating nang nakamtan. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, pagpalain Bangsamoro. Bangsamoro, Bangsamoro, lagi kang mamahalin, walang pipigil sa damdamin, mga pangako'y tutuparin. Habang buhay kami sa'yo'y magbabantay, mananatili sa puso't isipan. Ang kahapong humimlay na nagbuwis ng buhay, nasa piling na ng may kapal. Bangsamoro ay tagumpay, bunga ng pawis, sugo at buhay. Kapayapaan, katarungan, ay ating nang nakamtan. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, pagpalain Bangsamoro.
Let us welcome your host this afternoon, Ms. Eleanor T. Santos from the Development Academy of the Philippines.
Thank you, Nico. Assalamualaikum at magandang hapon po. A peaceful and healthy afternoon to the BARMM ministries and its ministers, employees, and constituents, to all our partners, our guests, colleagues from the Development Academy of the Philippines, and to all our online viewers. Welcome to the DEP Project SPARTA online roadshow in collaboration with the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao or BARMM. And this event is being live streamed via the Project SPARTA's Facebook page and FB page of BARMM Ministry of Human Settlements and Development. Officially launched on February 24, 2020, Project SPARTA has been at the forefront of ensuring a vibrant data science and analytics ecosystem and has consistently lobbied for good governance practices in the country. Project Sparta was conceptualized in order to put in place the necessary online education, research and development mechanisms and infrastructure to not only enable the industry of analytics, but also to advance smart governance practices. And this government initiative was made possible by the Department of Science and Technology, the DAP, the Analytics Association of the Philippines, and Course Bank. Since its inception, the project has welcomed more than 20,000 scholars and has partnered with some of the industry's leading institutions and government agencies, taking us a step closer to establishing a smarter, data driven Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Sparta Online Roadshow for the ministries of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, or the BARMM.
As digital transformation continues to become prevalent, so does the role of data science and analytics. The Philippines, as a nation, strives to make use of technology to find solutions to digital lags and divides. To bridge technological gaps and further adapt to these advancements, the Development Academy of the Philippines, together with the Department of Science and Technology, Philippine Council for Industry, Energy, and Emerging Technology Research and Development, the Analytics Association of the Philippines, and Course Bank, implemented Project SPARTA, Smarter Philippines through data analytics, research and development, training, and adoption. SPARTA aims to establish the necessary online education, research, and development mechanisms and infrastructure to enable the industry of data science and analytics, and fosters smart governance practices with its 2 phases and 6 learning pathways. We now welcome you to the Sparta Online Roadshow, Data Science and Analytics in Action. Get to know more about Project Sparta and the field of data science and analytics. For more updates, follow and like Project Sparta's website at sparta.dap.edu.ph and social media channels, Facebook page, LinkedIn page, YouTube channel, and Instagram at Project Sparta PH, and online community at Community Sparta PH.
Thank you so much for your attention. For the opening remarks, allow me the pleasure of introducing our esteemed speaker, and he is Director General Ismail W. Ibrahim, BARMM Ministry of Human Settlements and Development. DG Ismail Ibrahim is a graduate of the International Institute of Islamic Economics of the International Islamic University, Islamabad, Pakistan. He also completed his master's degree in public administration and working for the completion of his doctoral degree in public ad from Cotabato City State Polytechnic College. He served as consultant of different development partners in the region such as USAID, UNDP, UNICEF, the Asia Foundation, JICA, and CIDA. He was also granted an International Visitors Program of the State Department of the United States of America in 2005. He was also the Sharia advisor of the Al Amena Islamic Investment Bank of the Philippines in 2010 to 2012. In 2011, he was tapped by the Canadian International Development Agency for the Afghanistan Technical Assistance Program, Canadian Governance Support Office as senior technical advisor at the Ministry of Hajj and Religious Affairs in Kabul, Afghanistan. He personally developed the Afghanistan National Hajj Strategy 2011 to 2015. In 2012, he was appointed by then President Benigno S. Aquino III as commissioner representing the ulama sector, or the Muslim religious leaders in the Philippines, of the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos. He is the commissioner in charge of Hajj and Halal of the commission. He is also a part-time lecturer at the Institute of Islamic Studies of the University of the Philippines, Diliman, Quezon City. In 2020, he was a consultant of the Bangsamoro Chief Minister and appointed as Director General of the Ministry of Human Settlements of the BARMM. Ladies and gentlemen, I now give you Director General Esmael W. Ibrahim of the BARMM Ministry of Human Settlements and Development. Sir, magandang hapon po. Director General, are you there?
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you po. Okay na po. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ba'd. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good afternoon sa ating lahat. The Ministry of Human Settlement and Development of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao is indeed exultant in taking the lead in this endeavor on online data analysis coupled with research and development training using the platform of Smarter Philippines through data analytics, R&D, training and adoption, otherwise known as SPARTA. The Project SPARTA, as mentioned earlier by our colleagues from DAP, was officially launched in 2004 by the initiatives of the Department of Science and Technology, the Development Academy of the Philippines, the Analytics Association of the Philippines, and the Course Bank that aims to establishing the necessary online education, research and development mechanism in infrastructure to enable the industry of data science and analytics and foster smart governance practices. We cannot deny the fact that many technological developments and innovations played indeed a major part and role in our lives, especially we in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. We should really be at par with our other regions or with our neighboring regions, and even in Makati, as far as technological advancement is concerned. The challenges of modern technology amidst this pandemic is becoming more thought-provoking. It needs a revolutionary approach enhancements that suits the needs of a more realistic and innovative system that the SPARTA project offers. This activity is indeed very timely, where we as participants can be more productive in our own respective offices and ministries in serving our people and joining to the call of our Chief Minister to uplifting the lives of our people and adhering to moral governance. To our partners from the Asia Foundation, the Development Academy of the Philippines, we express our deepest thanks and gratitude for extending hands to us. Sana po hindi po kayo magsasawang tulungan po kami dito sa BARMM. To all the participants, congratulations. Kay Boss Gadi and his team and to everybody, kudos and hats off sa inyong lahat. And again, congratulations at maraming salamat po.
Shukran. Salamat po, Director General Esmael Ibrahim, and rest assured that the DAP is one with you in uplifting the lives of your people and adhering to good governance, and we will reach that that the BARMM will be at par with your neighboring regions in terms of technology. And before I give you the keynote message, let me first acknowledge the presence of the officials and employees from the following BARMM ministries. First, from the Ministry of Human Settlements and Development, we have here, please open your web cameras po, MHSD Chief Administrative Officer Nomaire Madid. Magandang hapon po. MHSD Chief of Policy Development and Coordination, Abdulhamid Alawi Jr. Sir Gadi, magandang hapon po. From the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, and Agrarian Reform. Good afternoon. We also have the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, Ministry of Public Order and Security, Ministry of Trade, Industry, and Tourism, Ministry of Science and Technology, and we have Minister Engineer Aida Silongan. Magandang hapon po, ma'am. Mr. Nasrodin Buwisan, he is the Acting Director General of Ministry of Science and Technology. Chief of Staff Badria Lidasan, MIS Head Mansur Panalangin. We also have our ministers and employees from the Ministry of Basic, Higher, and Technical Education. From the Bangsamoro Planning and Development Authority, we have Infrastructure Planning Division Chief Hil Cambronero, Social Planning Division Chief Mohammad Hadafi Abubakar, and Local Planning and Coordinating Division Head Al Kashmir Ko. And we also have, of course, the Asia Foundation. Magandang hapon po sa inyo. And we would like to also acknowledge the presence of DAP sa Mindanao Managing Director, Mr. Mark Limuel Garcia, who is also the concurrent Managing Director of the DAP HRMDD. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Moving forward, allow me to introduce the next speaker, and he is Mr. Adi Unsi, Civil Society Strengthening Specialist, Forward Bangsamoro, the Asia Foundation. Prior to his stint as the Civil Society Specialist of TAF, Adi was the former National Coordinator of eNet Philippines. Since 2014, he has been leading the core advocacies of the National Education Coalition related to early childhood care and development, ensuring quality education, expanding alternative and flexible learning options, gender equality, and democratic governance and financing for education. For 16 years of stint in the development work, his focus is on ensuring access to inclusive, quality education, whether in the context of emergency or normalcy, being the former staff of Oxfam, Great Britain, United Nations Volunteer, and MHENGS Foundation. Adi grew up in a poor family and conflict-affected area in the southern part of the Philippines. But despite his situation, he struggled to get continuing education through various scholarships like the Bright Mindanao Muslim Grantee in-country scholarship program for the master's degree in Asian Institute of Management, and from Open Society Foundations for his summer course on innovative financing and education at Central European University. He is a living testament of the importance of having education to break the cycle of poverty, illiteracy, and become a productive citizen. And for his keynote speech, he will talk about the importance of data science and analytics in the contemporary world. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Mr. Adi Unsi, Civil Society Strengthening Specialist, Forward Bangsamoro, the Asia Foundation. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Go ahead, sir. You are on mute po. Kindly unmute po. You're still on mute. Okay, that's it, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Eleanor Santos. That was a very generous introduction. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mayong hapon sa tanan and good afternoon to each and everyone. Isa pong karangalan na makasama kayo ngayong hapon at maging bahagi ng SPARTA Roadshow in BARMM. The reason I was here is because we in the Asia Foundation, we are supporting the Bangsamoro Transition Government in pursuit to peace and development. So thank you for that invitation, for this opportunity to be here in this afternoon. So I'd like to extend my courtesies to each and everyone, especially to Sir DG Mike Ibrahim, DG MSSD BARMM, to Miss Frances Claire Taiko, SPARTA team, Miss Jacqueline Sangalang of the Coast Bank, of course to Miss Eleanor, our Master Ceremony, also from the DAP, Ma'am Engineer Aida Silongan, members of the Parliament and Minister of the MOST, Engineer Hads of the Bangsamoro Planning and Development Authority and his team, and Dr. Alan, Vice President of the AP and SPARTA Project Lead. So it was nice reconnecting with the AP. I was with some of the colleagues working with the AP the previous, to name a few, Sir George and Sir Eliseo de la Torre. So I was working with them closely during my assignment in Manila to lead the education network. But now back in Cotabato, BARMM in general to support in the transition. So let me also introduce and acknowledge our support to the BTA as part of this undertaking. If we can proceed with another slide, ma'am. Ma'am, can you go to another slide? The next slide, please. Yeah, so there you go. So I was part of the Forward Bangsamoro project team of the Asia Foundation, but even before that, as many of you are aware of, the Asia Foundation is very much part of the peace process and development in BARMM. Our country representative, no less than Sam Sitek, is part of the third-party monitoring team, and many of our peace and stability program are supporting the peace process, and now with the Bangsamoro transition government. So this Forward Bangsamoro project is just one of them, specifically supporting the BTA with the overall goal of bolstering BARMM government institution through efficient and effective ministries and institutions. And we have three objectives. One is to support in terms of capacity building of government institution, offices, ministries, and its people. And second one is to support the enactment of priority measures contained in the priority code posted by no less than the interim chief minister, and to increase citizens' awareness and participation in BARMM through work with civil society organization, academia, and other partners. So TAP is there, committed, as mentioned by DJ, to journey with the Bangsamoro people in our pursuit to lasting peace and sustainable development in BARMM. So let me start by saying, and by the way, we have common themes in our work. If we can go to the next slide. These are the common themes that we are working as part of the support to Bangsamoro Transition Authority. I think the slide's not yet there. Yeah, so one is strengthening BARMM communication and feedback loop. As what I mentioned, this is part of ensuring that people, BARMM constituencies were aware of what's happening in BARMM and to get their inputs and solicit feedback so we can have a very strong BARMM government. Second is supporting transparency, accountability, and efficiency work, both on the matter of policy measures and capacitating our civil society organization, different stakeholders to engage with the BARMM government. And the third one, I think where this discussion is part of, is our pursuit to push the data analytics and research-based governance in BARMM. So we are working with IBS as policy think tank to do a lot of policy researches in as support to our MPs as evidence in their work in terms of creating, passing important measures. And we are also working with different ministries, offices in terms of economic development and planning, and now working on organizational development and human resources. So I'd like to begin this afternoon keynote address to address our colleagues in BARMM and our partners in different parts of the Philippines, to remind everyone that we are intending to support the transition government where there is a major structural reform. One is the parliamentary form of government, a shift from the unitary presidential to parliamentary form of government, and the fiscal power and the expanded geographical areas. And during this transition period, peace building programs is crucial that need to be sustained. And in order to maintain the trust in the peace process, build legitimacy, prevent recurrence of conflict, and move the country forward. So not only the BARMM region, but the whole country. And we also note and be reminded that the transition period begin during the after the plebiscite and supposedly ending during the first election intended to be in 2022, but with the push to extend the BTA term until 2025. So we are hoping that the government that we are working with, the transition government, is up to 2025, and we're praying for that. And just to be reminded again, and where we can draw some of the supports that some of the salient features of the Bangsamoro government, where innovation, where support is very much needed. For example, one of the salient features of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region Muslim is this enhanced autonomy. Remember that they have the power to develop their own budget, to develop policy, and craft their own development plan and allocate budget for that. Second is in the parliamentary form of government, where there is a sectoral representation and where people can participate as much as they want. Third is the modified justice system, where Sharia law is very much part of it, and the meaningful political participation. As mentioned, there is a sectoral representation and the intent planned by the BTA to have a party system form of election in the region. Another one is the joint jurisdiction in the natural resources by both the regional government and the national government, the promotion of halal industry, not just relying on the international and national policy and partner, but they can chart their own halal industry direction, the promotion of peace and security initiative, and the moral governance, where I think in the first report, the initiative for transparency, accountability, this data is very much part of this direction, the moral governance. So let me zoom in now in our pursuit to entrench data science and data analytics in BARMM by looking at this situation. So as I said, BARMM is now seeking for extension, whatever it could be, any support, capacity building, upskilling, policy development is very much important. And although there is a little bit of uncertainty, instability in terms of program priorities, but I think it's important to build the very foundation of strong Bangsamoro government while we are seeking for BT extension. And everyone knows the impact of it in terms of economy, in terms of employment, the movement, and in the case of BARMM, the achievement of important peace initiative, development initiative that is necessary during the transition. And just to inform everyone that the Philippines had this AI roadmap where the BARMM region can also align. But overall, the national government is led in terms of recovery, in terms of responding to the impact of COVID, and understandably that BARMM is still developing, just transitioning into conflict, and hopefully we can have this lasting peace. And finally, although the transition period is very short, you can see a tremendous development in different ministries, and innovation data is very much part of it. I think our good friends in MOST will share some of those important development policy program initiative in terms of building the culture of data innovation during this Bangsamoro transition government. So let me zoom in now in the topics of the importance of data analytics. So just want to inform everyone that we need to keep the momentum The BARMM government, as many peace advocates said, this is an important milestone that we can cultivate in terms of ensuring peace and sustainable development. And we are very much guided by the 12-point agenda of the interim chief minister. I think many of those 12-point agenda are very much related to our advocacy on data science and data analytics in terms of integration of plans, setting the right bureaucracy, and in terms of enabling policy environment, among other. And data as important tool for development. Let me inform everyone and inspire everyone that data could be a game changing in BARMM in terms of having a quick impact peace dividend. So we need to maintain peace and stability, quick impact development, and we can use the power of data in terms of doing that. Second, in terms of longer development, and this is very much echoed by our partners in different offices and ministries, the importance of information management and database management. And the good practice in terms of decision making anchored on reliable, accessible, and authentic data, and the importance of innovation. We cannot just rely on the traditional approaches, but rather venture on innovation, the use of data and technology in order to progress and achieve sustainable development. I'd also like to mention that data-driven culture and governance is very important. We talked with a number of ministries and they said it's still a challenge, but important to have accessible, updated, and comprehensive data in order to deliver our programs and services efficiently and effectively. And I'd like also to inspire everyone that, and I think DG Mike was mentioned a while ago, that we are actually led in terms of technology. The national government, the international communities are already there. So, but we are into it. And in fact, in the Philippines, we have this what we call open government partnership. Part of it is the open, the commitment project on open portal, open data by the DILG. And just recently, if you heard the news, Butuan City won the Global Mayor's Challenge in terms of leveraging predictive data to bolster local farmers' beneficiaries. And these are just some of the good initiatives that that show that data is very much important. And but BARMM is not one of it. In fact, in terms of LGU who has open data, right now only BARMM and Butuan has open data. Though BARMM is at the regional level and Butuan is at the municipal or city level. But it's good to emphasize and mention that BARMM has this open data, and this is an advantage to you compared to other region and to other LGUs there in the Philippines. But this has to be updated. I think this open data sets of BARMM was done 3 years ago with the previous ARMM. So I know the importance of update it because that data set is actually part of the defunct ARMM. So yeah, I could sense the importance of updating it to have another open data sets with the current BARMM. So another thing is we have pilot initiative previous, I think a year ago, with the LGU of Kidapawan and Alamada on Special Education Fund open data, where PTA and the school stakeholders can access the special education fund. So these are some of the initiatives where data is very much useful in terms of governance, decision making, and planning. Moving on, we in the Asia Foundation, as part of our work with BARMM ministries and offices, there is ongoing discussion with some ministries. To mention a few, we have with BPDA, with MOST, CABSEC, and of course MHSD and other offices to really talk and venture into institutionalizing data-driven innovation mechanism within the BARMM. And by having that, we are thinking to have this BARMM data office. It has three main components. One is open data, to update that open data sets 3 years ago, and this training, where I think Sparta is very much related to it, and the data challenge, inviting data scientists, data engineers, everyone to craft solutions for BARMM using authentic data. And we have that, we were proven that this data challenge is important. And I'd like to share some of our lesson when we venture into this data challenge as a market validation lesson in terms of discussing data science and analytics in BARMM. So during the first round of data challenge in BARMM way back 2019, and the second round is 2020 and 2021 through virtual, we have a very successful experience in terms of inviting young people, data scientists, data engineers, data enthusiasts to craft data-driven solutions for BARMM. And I'd like to share here that out of the first round, we were able to gather 8 winners, I think with the DAT as well. And there are a good number of important solutions. This one in the screen is the recent one with Serolytics, Data, eText, PH, of course, with CABSEC, BPDA, and other partners in BARMM, that we have very promising, very useful, and innovative solution. And these are just based on the limited data sets that they have on that BARMM open data sets of, I think, 2019. And how much more if we can have comprehensive, accessible data within BARMM through an open portal, so everyone can help charting data-driven solution in the region. So I hope with this some milestone in terms of partnership, the access to data, the data-driven solution, everyone is inspired and embrace this initiative, the data science and data analytics. To sum up, I'd like to say that data is key tool for development in BARMM. We are hoping to this very much. Data science can help BARMM in governance and policy making, and it will be a game changer for approaching peace and conflict transformation in the region. Quality data is essential for getting to the heart of understanding development challenges. BARMM region and its people needs these 21st century skills to chart its own pathway to development, and we are very much relying with young cohort, young employees of BARMM. I think many of them are in the screen, we're participating today, that you are promised of our region to embrace data science and analytics to chart our own development. So, and in closing, I'd like to quote the statement of our good Cabinet Secretary, Muhammad Asnin K. Pindaton, during the data challenge process, as I quote, for some, this might just be another data challenge that they are going to be a part of. For some, this might be another opportunity for them to put into practice what they have learned in data science and analytics. But for us in the Bangsamoro government, Bangsamoro people, it is more than that. Activity like this, data challenge, data science, data analytics, is an integral part of BARMM journey as we navigate the difficult transition period of the Bangsamoro transition. And for my end, let me challenge myself and everyone that approaches to development in conflict-affected areas of the part of the world often stick to the tested and tried solution, slowly building communities from the ground, but BARMM has a chance to introduce some modern day solution that embrace data analytics as part of a renewal of governance or in pursuit of the moral governance. Thanks for your time and thanks for listening. It's a pleasure to have you this afternoon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala and good afternoon.
Shukran. Salamat po, Mr. Adi Unsi, for highlighting the role of data science and analytics in our current situation, especially for the BARMM region, given the pandemic, economic recession, ample institutional barriers, and how data science and analytics can serve as a means to bolster the BARMM development. And rest assured that the DAP is one with you in your pursuit for sustainable development, in your pursuit for transparency, accountability, and efficiency, and of course, in your pursuit to push for data analytics through capability building, upskilling, and policy development. And I'd like to quote Mr. Unsi when he said, using the power of data in attaining peace and development, and making the right decision anchored on reliable data, using data-driven culture and governance, which is very important despite the challenges. And we are also very excited to have another BARMM Virtual Data Challenge, or what we call in Project SPARTA, hackathons and data challenges, which is aimed to solving some of the BARMM's pressing social problems. Shukran. Salamat po ulit, Mr. Unsi. And we are pleased to present the Certificate of Appreciation to Mr. Adi Unsi. And I read, this Certificate of Appreciation is presented to Mr. Adi Unsi for sharing his time and expertise as resource speaker during the conduct of the online roadshow with the theme Data Science and Analytics in Action through Project SPARTA, held on July 7, 2021 via the Zoom communications, signed by Honorable Amid Aminuddin D. Bara, Minister, Ministry of Human Settlements and Development, and Dr. Alan S. Cajes, Vice President and SPARTA Project Lead, Development Academy of the Philippines. Okay, are you still there? And we'd like to acknowledge that we have some 200 or 100 plus participants or online viewers in our platform. We also have viewers in our Facebook page from Pangasinan, Cavite, and as far as Zamboanga City. Welcome po, and thank you for making time for this online roadshow. Moving forward, I'd like you to pay your undivided attention for the SPARTA audio-video production and its accomplishments in the year 2020. Let's watch this. Yes, we are Project Sparta, and looking at that video, I hope that everyone, especially those who are excited or more inclined in data science and analytics, are very excited to be a Sparta scholar. And indeed, we are very excited to see the development of revolutionary data analytics initiatives that will support access to data that can be used to address the pressing issues of our nation, especially for the BARMM region and its constituents. Moving forward, our next speaker will give us a brief introduction on Project Sparta and guide our online participants and our potential learners, especially from the BARMM region, to have a better grasp on what the project is all about. Allow me to properly introduce the curriculum lead and subject matter expert of Project Sparta. She is the head of research and analytics at Cyralytics Research Services and data scientist consultant of UNDP Pintig Lab, where she focuses on driving social impact through analytics in areas such as public health, education, and human rights. She has built over 17 years of experience spanning modeling, analytics, forecasting, and stress testing. Prior to working at Cyralytics, she has worked in financial institutions like the BPI, BDO, and ANZ. She holds a Bachelor and Master of Science in Statistics from the University of the Philippines. Friends and colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I now give you Miss Frances Claire Taiko. Magandang hapon po, ma'am.
Magandang hapon. Shall I share my screen or do you have? Okay, I can share my screen. One moment. So can everyone see my screen now?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yes. Again, good afternoon, everyone, especially for our representatives from the BARMM region. So, as mentioned earlier, Smarter Philippines through data analytics, R&D, training and adoption, or Project SPARTA, aims to put in place the necessary mechanism and infrastructure to promote the practice of data science and analytics, as well as smart governance practice in the country. Now, when we initially conceptualized Project Sparta, we believe that there are three key ingredients for the success of smart governance in the Philippines. So first, we need to have a sustainable supply of data literate workforce. And once we have been able to develop a data literate workforce, they would need to have a venue to practice what they've learned, as mentioned also earlier. They need a venue for them to practice what they've learned and have access to data where they can apply the techniques that they've acquired. And once they already have access to the data, we need to be able, we want to be to enable our data literate workforce to contribute to the projects that are in line with the strategic priorities of our local government units and national government agencies. And these three key areas are the areas that we're hoping to hit with Project Sparta. Now, Sparta has two components. So the first one is knowledge democratization. And here we want to develop and launch 30 localized, massive online learning courses and be able to graduate. And the aim is to graduate 30,000 learners across different learning pathways. And the pathways are in line with the demand, the roles that are in demand by the industry. So once we get to train our workforce in data science and analytics, we want to provide them with a venue to practice the newly acquired data science and analytics skills. And this is what the second component is for, the activation and engagement. And this component aims to develop the incubation process for smart governance R&D projects. So it has two elements. So development of a smart governance R&D portal, and then the events and activation workshops that will help incubate, assess, and roll out the R&D projects to our priority implementation site. Now, deep diving into the knowledge democratization component, as I mentioned, there are uh, 6 learning pathways, and these are the typical roles that are usually required by the industry. So we have the data scientist, data engineer, data steward, data associate, functional analyst, and analytics manager. And what this shows is that the requirement of the industry is very different. It's not focused alone on data scientists or data engineers. So there are different roles that people can play across the analytics value chain. So for those who are career shifting, to the data analytics practice, or for those who do not have any domain expertise yet. So the data associate pathway is the entry level pathway for that segment. Now, how we have designed the curriculum of Project Sparta. So we have used the Analytics Association of the Philippines Professional Maturity Framework, and it is based on Apex data science and analytics competencies. And the courses were designed to be modular and stackable across these different data science and analytics competency categories. And as you can see here, for different roles, different proficiency levels are required across the different competencies. And how we have addressed this in the curriculum design is that we have created 101, or we have incorporated tiering in the subject. So we have 101s, 102s, and so forth across the different competency categories. Now, moving on to the support for the smart governance research and development. So essentially, under activation and engagement, there are 3 activities that we have proposed to support the R&D component. So we have smart governance R&D hackathons and data challenges. And the objective of this is to be able to crowdsource R&D projects from the academe, from startups, and in fact from graduates or learners of Sparta pathways. So next is we want to also have smart governance symposiums and conferences to help promote Project Sparta, to have a venue for us to share the progress that we've made in the project, and more importantly, for the different local government units to share best practices, from their own localities in terms of the practice of data science and analytics. And lastly, we are also in the process of developing this smart governance portal, which will support the smart governance R&D project incubation. So from the hackathons, we crowdsource R&D projects, and the winning projects we will be matching to LGUs and NGA partners so that they can be rolled out and implemented. So, of course, we want to be able to link our project proponents with the possible benefactors, either local government units or national government agencies. And this is where the smart governance R&D portal will be beneficial because this R&D portal will house the open data from various agencies as well as local government units, and they will be accessible to our researchers, academe, startups, uh, individual researchers. And then also, this is the platform where our government agencies and LGs can post their data challenges that are in line with the priority problems that they want to solve. For more information about Project Sparta, about how to apply to the scholarship, and as well as the upcoming events, please go to sparta.dap.edu.ph for more information. Thank you very much. That's it for me.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. That was Miss Frances Claire Taiko. Marami pong salamat for your time and effort, ma'am. Moving forward, our next speaker earned her bachelor's degree in education, major in values education from Philippine Normal University in 2016. She is currently pursuing a master's degree in clinical psychology at Polytechnic University of the Philippines. She is both an educator and instructional design lead in Course Bank, and she's here with us to explain the application process or the step-by-step guide on the registration and enrollment process for those interested to be a Sparta learner, especially from our colleagues and constituents in the BARMM region. Friends and colleagues, I now give you the instructional design lead of Project Sparta from Course Bank, Miss Jacqueline Sanggalang. Magandang hapon po, Miss Jacqueline.
Good afternoon, Miss Eleanor. Thank you so much for the introduction. So let me share with you my presentation first. Okay, so right now let me share with you the steps on how to apply for Project Sparta. So to start your application, you just need to go to coursebank.ph to create your Coursebank account. And then kindly go to coursebank.ph and then click the Join Now tab to proceed to the registration page of Coursebank. And you just need to fill out your details, your email address, your full name, your public username, your password, and the other personal details that are indicated on the page. And please be careful on entering your details, especially your email address, to receive your activation link and to avoid any delays to your application. And once you have completed your information, kindly read the terms and services and the owner code of Coursebank. And then if you're agreed to these terms and conditions, just click or just tick the box provided on the page and then click Create My Coursebank Account to finish your registration. And the next step is you need to activate your account. Once you have submitted your registration, the platform will automatically send you the activation link via email. And once you have received our email, just click the activation link and then wait for your account to be activated. Or if you haven't received our activation link email, please email us at learn@coursebank.ph so we can personally assist you with it. Okay, so the next step is the application for the Sparta Scholarship. So these are the eligibility requirements that you need to meet in order to apply for the scholarship. Number one, you must be a Filipino citizen. Number two, you must be permanently residing or currently based in the Philippines. And third, you should be at least senior high school student and with or without prior knowledge on data science. So to start your Sparta application, you just need to go to course bank page and then Sparta click the Sparta tab, and then just scroll down a bit. You just need to click the apply now tab. And then the page will direct you to the registration page for Sparta Scholarship. As you can see, we have 5 steps for the application. The step 1 is for your eligibility requirements, where you need to upload your uh, eligibility document. For the step 2, you need to complete your scholar profile. For step 3, you need to complete your education profile. For step 4, your employment profile. And lastly, the training profile. So what are the documentary requirements that you can submit for your eligibility documents? So you may upload a scan copy, a PDF file, or a photo of any of the following. Your diploma. If you are still a senior high school student or a college student, you may upload your valid school ID or a certificate of enrollment, a certificate of graduation, transcript of records, or a valid PRC ID. If any of these documents are not available on your end, you may email us at learn@coursbank.ph so we can personally talk to you and let's see what are the available documents that you have that we can use for your application. Okay, so just a reminder that you need to fill out the application form completely to avoid any delays to your application or rejection. So once you have submitted your application, you can already explore the learning pathways that we have in Sparta. So these are the learning pathways that we have, and these are already mentioned by Ms. Claire earlier. So let me share with you the preview or the background or the rules for each pathways. For the data associate, it sources, processes, analyzes data, and provides reports to explain insights. For the data steward is the gatekeeper of data. They are also responsible for ensuring that an organization's data is well defined, managed, and ready to use for downstream reporting, analytics, modeling, or even artificial intelligence. While data analysts leverages reporting, data analysis, and modeling techniques to solve problems and gather insight across functional domains. Analytics manager oversees analytical operations and communicate insights to executives. Analytics managers translate analytical results to actionable business items. While data scientist is a specialist who applies their expertise in statistics and building machine learning models enriched with programming to make predictions and answer key business actions. Data scientists tackle more open-ended questions, leveraging their knowledge of advanced statistics and algorithms. And lastly, we have the data engineer. Data engineer builds and manages data workflows, pipelines, ETL processes, and platforms. Data engineers are mainly responsible for management of the entire data life cycle, ingestion, processing, surfacing, and storage. So those are the learning pathways that we have. If you want to know more about these learning pathways, you can visit our Sparta page or the Course Bank help page. So once you have reviewed our learning pathways, you can already select the pathway which you are interested in. Okay, so to apply for a certain learning pathway, you just need to go to your Sparta profile. So in your Course Bank account, you just need to click the drop down button beside your username and then click the apply for a pathway. Okay, and then the page will direct you to the list of the pathways that we have. You just need to click the learning pathway you are interested in, and then there will be a prompt to confirm if you really want to apply for that certain pathway. And if you're already decided to apply to it, just click yes, submit my application. And then you will go back to your Sparta profile and there will be a pending status into it. Please take note that it will take 3 to 5 days for our team to review all of your to review your application, sorry, and to review your eligibility requirements and the submitted document that you uploaded to your profile. So if you have received our email notification that your application is already approved, you will receive your enrollment codes within 48 to 72 hours upon approval. And these enrollment codes will be uploaded to your Sparta profile. So what's the function of enrollment codes? These codes are used to verify your access to our Sparta courses. So if you have these codes, um, you can already verify your course and then you can access all of the contents of the course. And once you have completed a certain course, you will receive a verified certificate. So to use these enrollment codes, you just need to copy the coupon codes that you have from your Sparta profile. And then you may go to your dashboard and then click the Upgrade to Verified tab. And then the page will proceed to the cart page where you can place your coupon code and then click Apply and then place order. And then there will be also a prompt that show you that your coupon code is already added to your basket. Again, you just need to place your order again. And then your verification process is already approved. You just need to verify your identity by clicking the Verify Now tab. So, as mentioned earlier, you need to wait within 40 to 72 hours for your enrollment codes. So while waiting, you can already take the SP101 Getting Grounded on Analytics course. And this course is free. You don't need to have enrollment codes to access the contents. And it is also the foundation and a prerequisite course to all Sparta courses. So while waiting for your enrollment codes, we highly suggest to take the SP101 course already. So those are the process that we have for the Sparta application. So just to give you a recap, number one, you need to register and create an account at coursebank.ph. Number two, you need to activate your account. Number three, you need to apply for the scholarship and submit proper documentation. Four, explore and apply for learning pathway. And lastly, use your codes to upgrade your access to verify. So right now, let me share with you some of the frequently asked questions that were raised from our learners. So number one, how many learning pathways can I apply to? So we highly suggest to take more than 2 learning pathways, but we encourage all learners to take one learning pathway at a time. So after a successful completion of one approved learning pathway, the scholar may apply again for another. So if you have a question, what if I have similar courses from my current pathway to the next pathway that I will take? Should I re-enroll again or retake those courses? So the answer is no. The similar courses that you have from the current pathway that you have will be credited to your next pathway. So you don't need to take those similar courses that you have. Then, what is the nature of Sparta MOOCs? Project Sparta courses are online and self-paced. The courses have pre-recorded video lessons from the subject matter experts. For 6 months, you may take and complete a course anytime, anywhere as long as you have met the course requirements like computer or laptop with Microsoft Excel. Are Project Sparta courses free? Yes, Project Sparta courses are free for Project Sparta scholars. The project is fully funded by the Department of Science and Technology and DOST shared, and implemented by Development Academy of the Philippines in partnership with Analytics Association of the Philippines through CourseBank. Next, can a college undergraduate apply for a scholarship? How about those who didn't go through senior high school? Yes, college undergrads and those who didn't go through senior high school can apply for a scholarship. You just need to submit your most recent EOR as proof of education. How long can I complete a Project SPARTA course? Do the enrollment codes expire? Upon enrollment in a course, you will have 6 months to finish it. Otherwise, your course progress will be considered void, and you will need to re-enroll in the course if you wish to continue with your learning pathway. Next one, what is the difference between audit and verified access? Audit access allows you to take the course for free. However, some partners may opt to lack certain parts of the course like exit assessments. You will not get a certificate under audit access. Meanwhile, verified is a paid access that gives you full access to the course with a certificate of completion upon passing the course. Project Sparta courses are free under verified access for scholars. Scholars will be given enrollment codes that they will use to upgrade the courses from audit to verified, and except for SB 101, which is an honor class. Next one, will I receive a certificate when I finish a certain course and a learning pathway? Yes, you will get a certificate of completion automatically generated from your course bank profile when you finish and pass a Project Sparta course. Meanwhile, you will get a graduation certificate from the Development Academy of the Philippines once you have completed and passed a learning pathway. If you have already completed or if you have already passed all of the courses that you have for your pathway, our team will send you an invitation email to take the learning pathway capstone. And once you have passed that capstone, you will receive your graduation certificate for your pathway. What is the minimum passing grade to receive my certificate? You need at least a 70% on your individual assignments and at least a 70% on your overall grade. So those are the frequently asked questions that I want to share with you. If there are any other questions that were not mentioned earlier, you may send it on the comment section and we will try to address all of your questions later. So right now, may I encourage everyone to um, fill out our Sparta survey form, especially if you are interested to apply for the Sparta scholarship. You may just copy the link provided here, or you may just scan the QR code provided on the slide. So before I end my presentation, may I encourage everyone to enroll now and start your e-learning journey with Project Sparta. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Jacqueline, for explaining the step-by-step application process and enrollment process to becoming a project scholar, Sparta scholar. And I'm sure many of our participants who are here with us today are looking forward to becoming project Sparta scholars, especially from the BARMM region. Please stay with us for the open forum, Miss Jacqueline, and I'd like to call on again Miss Frances to please stay with us for the open forum. And joining us for the question and answer is the AP Project Sparta Project Manager, Miss Rhea Geraldino. Miss Rhea, are you there? To our audience, please feel free to drop your queries or questions in the chat box kung meron po kaninang na-miss sa ating FAQ, or you may want to clarify something to our resource speakers, especially with Miss Frances and with Miss Jacqueline, or you may raise your hand and wait to be acknowledged. We are also being live streamed via the Facebook page of Project Sparta and via the BARMM Ministry of Human Settlements Facebook page. So anyone who wants to start the question? Kanina po from the chat box, I saw a question that says, which Sparta partner organization are we supposed to pick when registering to become a Sparta scholar? Do we choose NA? Who wants to answer po? Ms. Jacqueline?
So if there is no BARMM enlisted to the registration page, you just click NA for a while.
Thank you so much. Any questions from our special guests from the BARMM Ministries? Baka po meron kayong gustong itanong. I think this is the right chance and right time to ask our speakers. Any clarification on the enrollment or registration process? And from those who want to ask in our Facebook page, we are also monitoring your questions. Or you may want to clarify or add something from your presentation po, Miss Frances, Miss Jacqueline. Anything else that you would like to add? Ayun, may question tayo. How many days in taking up the Sparta course? This is from MTIT. Salem.
Okay. Hi, good afternoon. So, if you're asking whether how long it will take for you to complete a course, so the courses were designed such that um, it's translatable. It's like equivalent to a one day, 8 hour seminar or workshop. So what we are assuming is that a learner will be able to dedicate 2 hours a week, no, for the course. So our Sparta courses are typically 4 to 5 modules. So we're expecting that at the earliest one can finish the course in a month. But since it's self-paced, then there are also other uncontrollable factors. So we have we are allowing a learner to complete a course within the 6 month period. Hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Miss Frances. And Miss Salem, I hope we answered your question. And there is one question from the Facebook page of Sparta. It says that is from Jack Nicolas. How do we know if how do we know if scholarship application is successful or not?
So for your application, you will receive an email notification from learn@coursbank.ph. We will send you an email, and you may also check your Sparta profile to check your status into your application.
Thank you, Miss Jacqueline. There is one question from Miss Joyce Dawn Buiko. And again, this is from our FB page. Nag-enroll po ako at nakapasok sa data science pathway. Then I realized that I need the data engineering pathway because it's more applicable in my current job role. Pwede po bang mag-change ng pathway? Anyone who wants to answer?
Yes po, you can change your learning pathway, but we are allowing only once to change your pathway. You just need to message us at learn@coursbank.ph, and we will send you the Google form to, you just need to fill out your details to the form, and we will assist you for your change of pathway.
Thank you. And again, we would like to acknowledge the presence of our ministers from the BARMM ministries and their employees and constituents. And we have over 100 plus viewers from the Zoom communications, and we have also viewers from our FB page from Rizal, Quezon, Pangasinan, all the way up to Zamboanga City, from Cabacan. And we have another question from ROS Basilan. How could this party contribute or use the BARMM economy or contribute to the BARMM economy? Anyone? Miss Rhea, I think you should answer this.
Thank you, Ms. L. Well, in terms of contribution, the idea of DAP is really to assist the public sector in terms of innovation, digitalizing, and assisting them to in the transition, especially in the time of digital transformation. And through Project SPARTA, we are able